everybody. So as always, if anyone has any questions, you're welcome to put them in the chat. I do have one that was emailed to me today that we'll address at some point. Okay. So let's just take a deep breath and just show up in this moment. We're letting our eyes take in the entire room all at once. Let your ears take in whatever sounds are present right now. Be aware of the input from your eyes, the input from your ears, the input from your skin. But take it all in at once. Nothing to play with. Nothing to hard focus on. Show up for the totality of it. As you breathe in and breathe out. Nothing to do. Nothing to realize. Nothing to become. Just be present exactly as you are. So much time thinking that there's something that needs to happen. It's already happened. You're here. Be here. And let your breath just anchor you into this moment. This is a meditation class. One of the most important things I can tell you about meditation is that meditation is not about you. Almost everything in your life, even your charities, are tied into your personal story. They're part of the personal growth of a personality. And because everything focuses on that personality, you've become trapped in a way of being. You've become trapped in a life story. Nothing wrong with the life story. The problem is just that you're trapped. Because everything you do reaffirms the story. This is who I am. This is what I care about. These are the people I like. These are the people I don't like. This is the type of work that I like. This is the type of work that I don't like. A system of likes, dislikes, attitudes, opinions. Build a story. And they don't need to be abolished. There's nothing wrong with them. The problem is, it's not who you are. You've trapped yourself into a false self. Meditation is the key out of that. It unlocks your prison. You've been doing it for so long that you think it's you, but it's not. And so at first, meditation feels like an invitation to walk away from what you are, when the truth is, you're actually expanding back in to what you are. But because you don't know that, and because you don't feel that in the beginning, meditation feels like a restriction. It feels like a chore. In the very beginning, it feels boring. But when you really give into it, it opens a door into the full you. This sacred ocean of consciousness that is what you've always been this whole time. The funny thing is, you already know it. It's just this little game you've been playing with yourself because everybody was playing it. It's sort of the trick of this realm of life, is that we're all going to pretend. But because that story is built out of fears and desires, it quickly becomes uncomfortable. So we step out of it. How do we step out of it? The answer is so simple that you probably have missed it. You just focus on something other than the story. It can be literally anything. In this course, we focus on the breath. And we do that because you're always breathing. And so there's always this invitation to take your attention off the story and actually step back into what's real. Not that the breath is real and the story isn't, but that story is holding so much of your attention. It's requiring so much of your energy and your personal power that when you take your attention off of it and just abide there, when you just give your attention to the breath and you simply don't follow any of the trails or invitations back into the story, those trails that want you to complain about what happened today, that want you to try and finish difficult conversations you had this week, those trails that want to figure out what you're going to eat after this. When you just let go of that and focus on literally anything else, in this course, the breath, all that power, all that energy that has been holding those stories in place, holding this artificial construction in place, gets liberated and returns to you. And so you sit in reality, comfortable, energized, feeling good. And that energy can be used to actually realize truth. To realize the truth of what you really are and what we're all a part of. And it doesn't matter how many years you've been practicing this or coming to these classes. You need to hear that over and over and over again. It slips away because the world of story doesn't want you to see it. Nothing in the story of life feeds this thing that is not your personality, this thing that is your true self. The only thing that feeds it initially is meditation. You simply spend time with that vast ocean of silence that you don't yet think is you. The more time you spend there, the more that plant gets watered, and the more it starts to blossom into realization. This has been taught for thousands upon thousands of years. For thousands of years, every spiritual teaching from every religion and non-religion has been saying you're missing the boat. The things that you're looking for to try and feel complete, to try and feel home, to try and feel like you found yourself, have been the wrong things. They've been stories about spirituality or stories about life and fulfillment. But none of them lead there for more than a brief second. That it's only in those moments when you are willing to let go of the search, to just relinquish the search and be with this space that looks like nothing initially, that you can actually find what you are, that you can find your completion. But it's not something to take my word for. You have to experience it yourself. So let's do that now. In this class, the way we do that is we give our attention to the center of your forehead, right about here, and to the crown. We let our attention just kind of stay high in our body that way. And what that does is it stimulates glands that help the body kind of relax and let go a little bit. And from that place, we watch our breath. As you're breathing in, you are right there with that inhale. Just 100% focused on that inhale. As you breathe out, you are riding that exhale all the way down. And in between the inhale and the exhale, there is this silent gap of space, this transition moment, just like the silence you hear when the band has stopped playing, but right before the audience has started clapping. Just that little pah of space. That space That is the meditative state. So by anchoring yourself on your breath so deeply that you even notice the space between the breaths, you come to slip in to the meditative state. Now you live with your eyes open, and we don't want to train you to only learn this with your eyes closed. So we do this with our eyes open, and you just let them fall to a spot on the floor, or maybe a spot in front of you on the desk, just depending on where you're sitting, but you're going to anchor them somewhere just to get them out of the way. But from there, your attention is here and here, and you're just going to watch your breath. Now this story version of you, this personality, has been at it for a long time. So it's going to come in with a million invitations to pull you away from that center of focus. And your job is to simply not accept the invitation. Let it do its thing. You be the watcher of the breath. When the mind comes in to take you away, you just return to the breath. Return to the breath. Return to the breath. And if you can do that, your journey begins. Are there any questions about that before we get started? Okay, so attention at the forehead and crown. Anchor your eyes in front of you somewhere. And now wholeheartedly give yourself to every facet of your breath. Breathe in, breathe out, and nothing else. Nothing to understand. Just show up for the breath. Let simple things be simple. Your body is still bracing, bracing against the life of your personality. But we're not doing that now. Let your body feel safe. Let your body feel soft. You're just breathing. There's nothing to be dealt with. The more you relax, the more meditation feels like joy. Not an emotional upswing, but that nurturing, healing joy. Can you feel how that creates more space? A comfortable space where you can refill. Those barely exist in the world anymore. You have to give this to yourself. If you can abide there and not follow the mind out of it, just stay with your breath in this spacious moment. You'll find there's no end to the deepening of that experience. And in deepening, you will heal. That healing comes from a shift in the attention a letting go, and a willingness to be filled with the peace of this moment. There's nothing to think about. Let it go. You can rip it to shreds when we're done. For now, have the clean experience. And you don't have to cling to this experience. Just walk willingly right into it. Make it your home in this moment. It asks nothing of you. Just that you let go of everything. But just in this moment, you're always letting go of something to be what you are. The only difference here is you're doing it consciously, on purpose. So you can see what you are outside of the story. What if you just stayed wide open with it? Dropped all your needs to protect. And was just completely available in this moment. Not to me, but to you. The you before you let everything get all twisty. I got an email earlier today of someone asking for some help using meditation to help them fall asleep at night. I have a great technique for that. You know, the answer is you have to be able to shift into a space like this. But sometimes, especially if you're waking up in the middle of the night and trying to go back to sleep, or you have anxiety, or you're feeling other people's anxiety, it can be difficult to have the clarity to do what we're doing right now. So I thought I would give you a technique that I consider to be foolproof. It works no matter what state you're in. It takes you from that stimulated fight or flight state right back into that state of rest. So I'm going to talk you through it. And this will be recorded and it'll be up for a week on my website. So if you miss any part of it, you can go back and check it. This is a technique that comes from something called the Silva method. Silva. It's not deep, but it does the trick. And the method I'm about to teach you can be used to sleep, but it can also be used in your waking life when you just can't see your way around something and you need other parts of you to reconfigure so that you can think differently. So it has multiple uses. But it's a 3-2-1 technique. In the first technique, we systematically go through and relax our body. In the second part of the technique, we project ourselves in our mind somewhere that is very comforting and beautiful to us, our favorite place. And then in the final part of a technique, it goes 3 to 2 to 1, you begin a countdown from 100. The idea being that when you get to 1, you are in that state of complete relaxation. Not just physical relaxation, but your brain waves have literally changed into a deep meditative state. The level of that depth may differ from day to day, and you don't need to worry about whether or not you've actually achieved it. You just do the practice. And after you've been doing it for a while, instead of 100 to 1, you can go to 75 to 1, and then start at 50 to 1. And if you do this long enough, you will encode it in your nervous system, where you can just start at 10 and go back to 1, and you'll be there. So let's do it. I want you guys to close your eyes. And on the screen of your mind, we're going to start at level 3. I want you to flash a 3 and hear the word 3 3 times on the screen of your mind. And now we're going to move through our body and just let everything relax. Let go of the top of your head. Place your attention in your eyes and let go of your eyes, the muscles around the eyes. Now the muscles of your face, just let them go. The muscles around the jaw. The tongue. Let the tongue just fall to the bottom of the mouth. Your neck. Just let it relax. Let it extend and relax. your right shoulder, your right upper arm, your elbow, your lower arm, your wrist. At the joints, it can help to feel like there's a balloon that is filling up, creating space in the joints. Your thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky, and then travel back up to the shoulders again, and move to the left shoulder. Let it go. Left upper arm, a balloon in the shoulder joint, filling up, releasing. The elbow, lower arm, wrist, thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky. Now back up to the center of the shoulder blades. Let go of your entire upper back. Let go of your chest. Come down to the mid-back. Just set it free. Let it go. Let the diaphragm find its natural movement as you breathe. Your abdomen, your gut, lower back, and let's do the legs simultaneously. Let go of your hips. Let go of your perineum. Let go of your upper legs. Your knees. Your calves. Your ankles. The soles of your feet. The big toe. Second toe. third, fourth, and the pinky toe. And just breathe in the 3 state of physical release. Now the 2 state is mental release. First, you're going to flash and say in your mind a 2 3 times. 2, 2, 2. And I want you to imagine a place where you are completely safe. A place where there's nothing to tend to. And so both sides of your brain can just spread out like wings and be comfortable. Nothing to figure out. And just be in that space. Your work couldn't reach you if it wanted to. And there's nothing for you to do. This is the 2 state. Now for the 1 state, you're going to count backwards. If you're just awake and doing this in your daily life, then you'll just count 100, 99, 98, with the intention that you're going to sink deeper and deeper with every number. If instead you're trying to fall asleep, then you're going to visualize a whiteboard and a marker. And rather than counting the words, you're going to write them on the whiteboard and circle them and then erase them. 100, circle, erase. 99, circle, erase. 98, circle, erase. Begin counting backwards in this way. When you're in bed, you will usually be asleep before you hit 1, but it doesn't matter. When you hit 1, you'll be so comfortable that it won't matter if you're awake or asleep. Count back now. We won't get all the way in this session, but I want you to experience it. To be able to do it requires no pushing, no pulling, complete patience, tending to the whiteboard. In a couple minutes, I'll have you skip to 10. But for now, count as if you have 100 on your plate. Okay, skip down to 10 and let every number count. You're going to sink, sink, sink as you go from 10 to 1. This puts you in your parasympathetic nervous system, the relaxation phase of your nervous system. When you're awake, it actually opens up areas of your brain perfect for critical thinking. Critical not meaning criticizing, I mean you open up the ability to see more angles of any situation you're looking at. But if you're in bed at night trying to sleep, this can get you there. This is something I use if my husband wakes me up at like 3 a.m. and maybe I'm feeling stress from people. It's one of those things, nothing in you wants to do it in that moment. But if you do it, it's the fastest road back to sleep and rest. Give it a try. Any questions before we end for the night? everybody. I'll be here next Thursday. Hope you all have a great week.
Thanks, Liam.